He's out there in the rain. He's out there in the sunshine. He's out there looking to find the best in movies and music. Our resident guru on all things movies and music, Barry Rushton.
Barry.
Jared, lovely to be back here again, mate.
Lovely to be back again. Barry J. Rushton. Barry John, isn't it?
BJ, it is. There's lots of people in our era had John as a middle name. I see
Anybody
it all
call
the
you
time.
John at all, Barry?
Never.
Never.
No.
All right, John, let's go.
I get BJ all the time, or Bazza.
Yeah.
I quite like Bazza.
Bazza boy.
Yeah, Bazza boy, and Bazza, which is true, you know what I mean? Yeah. I do. But those days, Jared, some people do have a nickname, you know, or some people do have a AKA.
Yeah, my nickname was Gorgeous.
That was mother said that, of course. But talking about names, I've got an album here today, which I know you are going to love. Now, the name of the artist is called Miten. Now, you're going to say, nobody calls a person Miten, because the guy is an English musician, a guy called Andy Desmond. That's his proper name. He's born in 1947, so he's in our era. Yes, I understand, Jared.
Did you get the date of his birth?
I didn't look it up, but I know it was that time.
What a great year.
Yes, in the 1970s, early 71, 72, he formed a duo with another guy, a guy called Garrett, I think his name. They made a couple of albums, and in actual fact, Ray Davies of the Kinks said, I'm going to sign you guys to my album, my record company called Conk, I think it was, Conk Records. And so Dave Davies produced another album by this guy, Andy Desmond. Right? Yeah. So that's the preamble for the whole thing. Wow. So it's rolling along. Now, these guys were really quite good, and they were used as opening acts for Fleetwood Mac, for Ry Cooder, for Randy Newman, for a bunch of people. Then? I can't think of the name. It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
So it was that kind of a song type of guy. And when the audience hears the artist or the clip you're going to use, they'll say, I can see this folk rock kind of feel, you know. So anyway, what actually happened is that he got disillusioned with the whole, you know, hedonistic sort of rock style, and he went off to, as they do, to the eastern areas to find meditation and so
George Harris, he calls a lot of
along those kind of lines, you see. And he went and studied under a guy called Bhagwa Sri Ragish or something, who gave him the name Prabhu Miten. Prabhu Miten is actually called a friend of God. And so he's gone by that name, Miten, all the time. And he's now in conjunction with this girl, which I'll show you, and you'll see her in a minute, I think. And he's got this album out, the last album, called Temple at Midnight. Wow. Now, the clip you're going to see, well, I'll get you to show, is an old Beatles song, and it's the second song on the album. It's the only real cover one that I know. It is absolutely beautiful. But once you've seen this, I want to tell you about another song on the album. Okay?
Let's
have a listen to this.
I once had a girl, or should I say, she once had me. She showed me her room, isn't it good? Norwegian wood. She asked me to stay, and she told me to sit anywhere. So I looked around and I noticed there wasn't a chair. I sat on a rug, biding my time, drinking her wine. We talked until 2, and then she said, it's time for bed. And she told me she worked in the morning and started to laugh. I told her I didn't, crawled up to sleep in the bath. And when I awoke, I was alone. This bird had flown. So I lit a fire. Isn't it good? Norwegian wood.
Barry, isn't it beautiful?
I do rest my case. It is absolutely beautiful. Now, look, I haven't got the name of it because, look, unfortunately, Jared,
What song you like?
I haven't got the name of it because I don't have the album in front of me. And the reason I don't have the album in front of me is because we've got a good friend, and he came on the show the other day, Dr. Bruce Lipton. And Bruce knows these people well.
Yep.
And he says, Barry, I want you to listen to this album. And he gave me a copy of one he had. And I don't normally take copies, you know, I'm a bit like that. And he said, for promotional purposes only, Barry. And I said, of course, Bruce, of course. You know? And so I don't have the list of songs, but the song number 6 is the most beautiful love song I have ever heard. In fact, my daughter's getting married next year, and we were on the deck the other night, and the future son-in-law was there, and I said, Jade, this is the song Carrie should walk down the aisle to. And I hope he does. In fact, I'll pressure him anyway because I won't pay any bills otherwise. But
You won't pay for the wedding.
I say that, but you know, it is so beautiful. So anyway, leaving that aside, you'll see in there that there was a girl in there. It's his life partner and a girl called Diva Premal, I think her name is. She's from Germany, and she had her own success as well. And so they now tour, and they've got a dozen albums out together, these two. And this Temple at Midnight is the last one. Yeah, but it's a beautiful album. Temple at Midnight. It's called Miten with 1 T. I just know you're going to love it. I know there's lots of people out there who love it. I think it's fabulous. See you next week, my friend.
Okay, thanks,
See you,
Barry.
buddy boy.
See you next week.
Bye.